I started this as the 10-10-10 rule, and then I moved it into more about positive self-talk. So the 10-10 rule is a simple and effective method for unsticking your brain and moving you forward. And it was first created by business journalist and author Suzy Welch, and is used across industries. Like I say, you got to remember, I'm a personal trainer, I'm a fitness trainer, I'm a coach. That's my remit. So I always credit people for what they've done. But I kind of think of myself more as a multi-dimensional coach. So it's trying to work out whether some of you worrying about now, will it matter in 10 years? Will it matter in 10 months or in 10 minutes? So normally when making a decision under stress, we consider the immediate 10-minute impact and don't consider the long-term consequences. What I think here, if it's something important in 10 years, then if it's important in 10 years, it's probably important in 10 minutes time. But in 10 years, it's not important, or 10 months, then don't stress about it now. Let's say you're dealing with one of the issues we've been talking about, and you're taking too long a choice and you know it. Time for some perspective. First, identify the worst case scenario that could result from taking action. And this could range from not much to I'll make a fool of myself. So be honest with yourself. Then ask 3 questions. How will I feel about 10 minutes from now? How about 10 months from now? How about 10 years from now? Your answers will help you realize whatever's weighing you down probably isn't as life-changing as you think. Most of these day-to-day things. On the flip side, think of the best possible outcome and ask yourself the same 3 questions. You'll notice many of the stressors delaying you have a disproportionately high reward, get my eyes out, relative to risk when you take action. But you talk yourself into a corner anyway. Speaking of which, when you talk to yourself, watch your language. Perception matters. You want people to perceive you in a positive way, of course, but how do you think about you? This is more important. I said this earlier on the main call. Like, what other people think about you, none of your business. It's their business. What is important is what you think about yourself and how you say things to yourself. Like David Saw, a psychologist and clinical director at the University of Pennsylvania Center for Weight and Eating Disorder, uses perception as part of his treatment. He gives new patients a mirror and instructs them to use gentle language when talking about their bodies. For sustained long-term results, not enough for the weight to be simply lost or gained, but the patients to morph their body perceptions. That's kind of self-image, and that's what I think is really, really important when it comes to like long-term change. So what you see and how you talk to yourself is ultimately what you'll get. So really, really important. How you perceive yourself will determine how you act, even down to day-to-day routine. So think of the fit version of you. Think like the fit version of you would. Fake it till you make it. This is true. This is neuroscience. If you think about yourself as a strong, successful, good valued, heart-centered person, and you think about it, you talk about it enough times, you write it down with passion, you'll become that. And that's the same with you. It's no good doing loads of workouts and eating the right foods, but then saying to yourself, I'm still fat. You've got to say, no, I am fit, I am lean, I'm strong. It's like the affirmations again and again and again. So the brain goes, you know what? This is the pattern. So how can you use this to your advantage? Self-talk. Yeah, I know it's easy to laugh off or store in the category of don't need it. A lot of people say to me, no, I just want to diet or workout. This is the biggest one. Its power and impact cannot be ignored. Avoid negative self-talk. These are the negative bits. I think we got the wrong end of the stick with this earlier, but when you go, she's better looking, I'll never be as successful as she has been, I'm scared of failing, it didn't work for me, but it's not my fault. This is the talk you don't want to be doing. You want to practice positive self-talk. My hard work is paying off. That person has the life I want. Time to learn from the best. I'm not afraid of success. Maybe like someone said earlier, I should have put there. Oops. Sorry, hang on 2 secs. Just downloading the call for tonight. And we're back. Sorry about that. Technical glitch. I was just downloading the call for tonight. I'm not afraid of success. I would say I would rephrase that one these days. I would say probably I am fearless. I am strong. I am capable. Like the one afterwards, I'm confident in my abilities. In my path is only good. That's the kind of word you've got to use. Aesop's fable about the fox and the grapes is a favourite of mine. Fox sees a grape on a vine. The grape's pretty tasty, by the way. He can't reach it. But instead of finding ways to bogart the grape, he decides the grapes are probably sour, not worth his time. They're useless, I don't want it. It's like people being out of shape and getting fit. They find it hard work and it's not going the way they want. They then say, it's not worth it. I'll just stay the way I am. That's kind of the tale of the grapes. The lesson: people belittle that which they think is beyond their reach. And as a result, we convince ourselves we don't want it. It's easy to want something, try to get it. And when it seems out of your reach, you justify to yourself it's not what you want because it's too damn hard. Offer yourself some choice positive words and resist doing that. This journey you're on about fitness and health and habits is worth having. Trust me, I've seen too many people die too young or be too sick too young or live an unhealthy life. Ask, am I failing because of my method or my approach? What is true in life is true in fitness and fat loss. A lot of different methods work. The missing element is often not the method, but a lack of patience, consistency, and implementation. That one I'll do again, right? So, implementation is no good having loads of knowledge and reading loads of books and doing loads of courses and getting loads of qualifications if you don't do something with it. You must implement it. And then you must be consistent with it. You must do it regularly. And then you must be patient. Like some of my students, success in days, others it's months, sometimes even longer. Unfortunately, some give up way before they see the rewards. I get a couple like that, but not so many these days. But I still do get the odd one. What they don't see is the progress they're making. Instead of recognizing they're going from a 3 out of 10 to a 5 out of 10, they compare themselves to others who began at 8 out of 10. We're all on a different journey. Don't worry about anyone else. Don't get in the comparison trap. Just think about what you are doing. And they get disenchanted, blame themselves or sometimes the system, i.e. me. So I get the short straw. Check out the graphic on the next page because this is so true. I talked about the guy gold mining in Alaska in the 1800s. His wife left him. His kids walked away from him. He spent all his money on a gold mine and eventually went bust. Sold the gold mine to a friend for like next to nothing. The next day, the guy who he bought it off for next to nothing struck some big gold. But you forget the fact that the guy who did the work is the one who walked away nothing. So he is actually doing really good work. He just need to stick to his game plan. So it can be frustrating because it looks like nothing's happening. But even if a fuse is running beneath the surface of the positive things you do, the key is to not give up before the real acceleration starts. And there's the exponential growth. So this little line along here is like where you are. Okay, I lost a pound, gained a pound, lost 2 pounds. Blah, blah, blah. Eventually, you'll crack it and you will get exponential growth. Guaranteed. The magic of exponential growth, slow initial gains, might not be exciting, but they can add up to explosive growth later on. That's why I say trust the process, stick to the game plan, do the work, you get paid. Newsflash, you will fail. Anytime you really become a failure is when you quit for good. If you fail, that's fine, fail again. What you do, you're either going to learn or you're going to win. If you don't win, you try again, you fail, you either learn or win. You keep going like that. So one day you may publish a status update asking for support and get no response, or you step on the scales and the weight has gone up, or something else. These failures are inevitable. It's how you respond will dictate your success. Never forget that n equals 1. That's not a reliable study. One person or one try is not enough to form a solid conclusion. You can't discredit anything unless you have sufficient data, and one or few attempts is not sufficient enough data. That's why I track personally data over weeks and months and look for a pattern. Choose a method that feels good to you and trust it, but never forget about your approach. Whether you decide to learn from me or somebody else, odds are that what they teach you will work, but only if you go it the right way. Ask yourself, what would this look like if it were easy? When in doubt, simplify, simplify, simplify. Like with the 10-10 rule, If it's a big decision that's going to matter in 10 years, yes, you need to take some time to think about it. If it's not, then just simplify and get rid of it. I hope that makes sense. There we go.